Okay, so here we are, we've got a Jaguar XF with a faulty driver's door lock. Most of the time you try and lock the car, the driver's door won't lock, the mirrors won't fold, and the car chirps twice at you to tell you that there's a fault. Also, on the odd occasions when it does lock, you press the unlock button and it won't unlock the first time, you've got to press it a couple of times. So the fault that causes this is in this latch mechanism here, and I believe the fault internal with this latch mechanism is when this white L-shaped lever breaks. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace this unit. This is the new one. So to start with, we need to remove the driver's door card. To remove the driver's door card, if you can see in there, there's a little cover there. There are covers there and there under the armrest, and there, that little cover there. Those covers need to be pried out to access the screws behind. So I'll do that now. So I don't know if you can see this on camera, but the cover there has been removed, and the covers there and there have been removed, and the one in the end there has been removed, and behind those are Torx screws. Okay, so we've got those screws out now. So now we're going to use a plastic trim release tool. We're just going to insert it around the door and try and pop the studs that hold the trim panel in. You just got to try and find a place to get your trim tool in and just gently pull. I need to answer this, I'm going to turn the camera off. Okay, so using that tool, got an edge open first and then worked my way around. Released all of those white trim clips that you can see there, and just pulled the door panel towards me. But you can see that the panel is still attached there by the lever. Put that wire like that. And you'll also notice that there are a number of wiring connectors. Now these wiring connectors, you just find there's a part on them that pushes in. So you push in and release. Push in and release. And it's difficult to see. Push in and release. And they're all colour coded, so you can't really get them in the wrong order. This one at the bottom is for the seat memory switch, if you've got that function. Push and release. So with all those released now, we have a door panel completely free. So we'll set that down somewhere safe. Okay, so with that released now, this is a view of the inside of the door. You can see the speaker and the speaker panel. The only access into the door is from behind this panel. So we're now going to release each of these Torx screws all the way around the edge of it, and it will come away. I'll do that now. Okay, I've got the screws out, so now this will release, although it won't release fully because it's connected by wiring looms. So we're just going to try and prop this up to one side somewhere out of the way. Okay, so this gives us access into the door, not much access. And we'll shine a light down here. Back of the is the lock. We're going to have to get out. Incidentally, XFs suffer from a rattle in the front doors, and that rattle is caused by these two window cables rattling together. The cables should have this foam around them, but the foam deteriorates and allows the cables to rattle together. And you can see a couple of years ago I just wrapped some tape around there and put a tyre wrap on to hold the cables together and that stop the rattle. So if you've got a door rattle and it's annoying you, you can do that. Okay, now the lock itself is attached. Now these 3 screws here, potentially some others behind these panels, these stickers. So I just switch the camera off a minute while I suss out how it's held on. Okay, this is our new lock again, but as it fits in the car, it's actually attached by some sort of plastic assembly to the exterior door handle. So we'll need to release that exterior door handle, and the way you do that is you remove that cap there, and behind there is a screw, and you loosen the screw just enough turns so that you can pull that plastic cover away. Don't undo it too much, otherwise it'll flop out and be lost inside the door. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so behind that cap you'll find the Torx screw, and it's a bit fiddly, best off looking down the hole and looking where the screw is, but if you can see the angle of my screwdriver there in relation to the door, from above in relation to the door, there's the screw. Now you just screw out about 6 turns, and the handle, end of the handle should just pull right out like that. Okay. So now the rest of the handle will just unhook. Okay, and there's the rubber grommet. Now, if you then undo this screw there, that whole assembly will be free to move with the lock when we do those 3 screws there. Okay, so as you can see, the lock and handle assembly are free. Now, this is the position of the interior door handle, so we need to feed that back through the hole. I think let's go at that with a bit of silicone to help get it through. Okay, basically the lock is now free inside the door, but we're just trying to, the only thing that's holding it on now is, or attached to it, is the electrical connector, which when I can get my fingers to it I can free that off. But inside the door are lumps of this sound deadening material which are just stuck on. So I've pulled those off to give me a bit more access. There's 2 of them, one on the outer skin and one just behind here on the inner skin. So I'm just going to get rid of the other one. I can stick them back on afterwards with some double-sided tape. That's all Jaguar did. But they'll just give me a little bit more access to get to the lock. And that's the other one. Can you see that one was held on with 2 pit pins that went through that hole and that hole. So I just used some pliers to just squeeze the end of the pit pins while I pulled it out from the inside. So that'll give us a bit more room as well. Now I'm just releasing the electrical connector, which is right down there. And just squeeze the bottom of it and pull. And if you can see, there it is free. So now the only thing, there's nothing now holding the lock into the car. It's just a case of getting out of the available space. Now I've undone the screw there, which is that one there. I've taken that out, and I've taken out one at the top, which is part of the, behind those there were black tape covers covering those. That means the window channel is now free, so I'm just going to try and see if I can wiggle the whole thing past this lock. If not, I may have to further remove the window regulator equipment. Okay, now as you can see, I've had to remove the door glass. Now, it's not as complicated as it sounds, or as drastic. Little screw hole. Take that screw out. The chrome strip will lift it off bit by bit and pull it out. Okay, you need the chrome strip off, that's easy enough. And with the chrome strip and all, there's 5 regulator screws. One there, and 2 at the front. Those 5 screws, and then you reach inside with your fingers and you can unclip the window out of its holders. It says you need a special tool, but you don't, you can just unclip it. That will release the window glass, put it somewhere safe. Okay, finally got the lock out. Okay, so with the glass removed, that black bar there was holding the stopping the lock from passing it. So you, with the glass removed, you can just gently move that black bar out of the way and stow it. And with that stowed, the lock assembly comes off the car. Now we can take this to the bench and we can work on swapping it over with a new one. So with these on the bench, I'm kind of surprised. I was expecting to see the end of that broken, which is what normally happens according to YouTube, and it isn't. So let's hope just maybe the motor's gone tired inside. Anyway, I've bought a new one now, so I'm going to change it. So we need to, first job, take this cable off there and put it on that one. And we just need to release these clips there and there, pull that out, and then it needs rotating through an angle before it will release. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so that's released now, so just angle it. Okay, so we'll now put it in the new one. Right, okay, with the locks turned upside down, now you can see that the handle assembly is attached to the lock by one rivet there, and it just locates down there. So we need to drill out that rivet, transfer it over, and we can either attach it with a small nut and bolt or a couple of cable ties. It doesn't really do anything, that rivet, once the whole assembly's in the car. So we'll see how we get on. Then we'll need to, when we do separate that rivet, we'll have to take that cable out there, which is the one from the exterior door handle. Okay, so as you can see, the lock handle assembly back together again. I just used a small screw because that's screw and a nut. That's what I had. As long as it doesn't interfere with the movement of the cables or the levers below there, it doesn't really matter what you use. Okay, so now this assembly with the cables connected, both cables, is now ready to go back into the car. Okay, the light's fading a bit now, but I've basically pulled that back in the car, held it in by one screw, and on the outside realign the door handle, put the screw back in. I'm just going to refit the handle, make sure that looks like it's working okay before I put the window glass back in. Okay, the next step is to put the glass back in. The trick here is to leave all the screws out of the window runners, put the glass in from the top, then push it back up and make sure it's engaged in its runners, and then you can reach underneath, feel the clips around the glass and just push the clips home, locating them. They go in the holes in the glass with a bit of a twang, so you can easily tell when it's all back together. So that's in now. Now I'm just going to put the 5 screws back in that hold the window regulator assembly. We'll see where we are after that. Okay, so it's taken a fair bit of fiddling to get the screws for the window regulator back in. In the end, I ended up connecting up my door card, powering up and just lowering the window just an inch so I could move the mechanism up to get the screws in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, they're all in now and everything looks good. Okay, what I'm going to do now, before I go any further, is I'm just going to slowly take the glass all the way up and all the way down again. Just make sure everything's right in there and nothing gets snagged before I continue putting it back together. Okay, so you just locate it at the front end, push it in there, and then just ease it down all the way along. So the next job is to put these foam pieces back in. This one clips. There's also held in some double-sided tape. So I think I'll just get some carpet glue on that tape before I push it into those two clips. Okay, so on that other piece of foam, I've used some fresh double-sided tape. You don't really want this coming off inside your door and rattling about, or even worse, jamming up the window. So some fresh double-sided tape there. Peel the backing off. And we'll stick this back inside the door. Okay, now we're all done, the door panel's back on. Test. So we lock. That's okay. Unlock. Perfect. No chirping noises. That chirp there is for the double locking. Again, no error chirps. Unlocking. So that's it, fixed. So I'll just have a look at the old one, seeing if I can see any signs of why it's failed, and I can't. Everything looks like it's intact. The only thing I can think of is that the motors inside it have just gone weak. Interestingly enough, this sticker says made in Germany. So an English car, but the part that's broke is made in Germany. Oh well.